Michigan State Corrections Officer Physical Aptitude Test, or COPAT for short, was designed to measure your physical readiness as a corrections officer candidate. The 10 events in this test will simulate potential encounters you may face once on duty, from using self-defense to performing a pad search or administering CPR. You will be expected to complete these events consecutively, and you will be held to a standard of 5 minutes or less for the total time of completion. Prior to beginning this test, you will be granted the opportunity to ask any questions or clarify expectations. A successful completion of this test will remain valid for 6 months before having to retake it unless you were hired during that time.
Event 1, 200-yard run. After ensuring you are prepared to begin, the instructor will give you the start command. You will run from one cone to the other, making sure to round them from the outside. If you cut inside or straddle the cone, you will need to redo that turn. You will repeat as many trips necessary to cover 200 yards and run past the final cone to complete this section. The instructor will count your trips and advise you when you are on the last trip around the cones.
Event 2, stairs. The candidate will move to the stairs and immediately run up one side and down the next for a total of 5 complete trips across. You must step on each stair with at least 1 foot, and both feet must touch the floor each time you complete a trip up and down the stairs. Any skipped steps will not count and will need to be redone. Event 3, striking techniques. Once in position, the instructor will give you the command to deliver 20 strikes to the bag or pad. You will deliver 5 open-handed or palm heel strikes with each hand and then transition to 5 strikes with each leg.
Event 4, UpDowns. You will need to quickly lower yourself onto the mat, lay flat, and raise your hands up off the mat. Then, you must quickly return to your feet and raise your hands. Repeat these steps for a total of 10 times. The instructor will count only properly executed repetitions. Candidates will receive 1 warning about raising their hands off the mat. Failure to do so in any successive repetitions will not count and will need to be redone.
Event 5, clothed body search. Using both hands, touch the identified areas to complete the basic movements necessary for a clothed body search. The candidate will complete 5 simulated searches, with each search starting and ending at the wrist location. Event 6, 100-yard run and carry. You will go back to the cone section and run 75 yards. At that point, you will pick up a 30-pound weight and walk the remaining 25 yards. You must walk past the cone to complete this section.
Event 7, locking mechanism. For this event, you will need to unlock a padlock and separate a linked chain, removing the lock from the chain and laying both the chain and the lock on the table. Candidates will raise their hands briefly to demonstrate that the lock and chain are unsecured. You will then lock the chain and padlock back together to signal completion of the event.
Event 8, rescue drag. At this stage, you will need to safely drag a 140-pound mannequin past the finishing cone for a total distance of 25 feet. The event is not complete until the mannequin is fully past the finishing cone.
Event 9, CPR compressions. Take a position next to the mannequin with both knees and feet on the mat. Interlock your fingers and place your palm onto the center of the mannequin's chest and perform 30 compressions, counting as you go. Once you reach 30 compressions, stop.
Event 10, summons of assistance. At the final stage, you will simulate the use of a radio and read the call for assistance in a clear, calm, and articulate manner. Once you have successfully completed this event, the instructor will signal the end of the test and stop the clock. The COPAT is one of the important steps towards becoming a corrections officer for the state of Michigan, and it is necessary to continue in the hiring process.
If you pass the test, you have taken one of the first steps to become a corrections officer in the Michigan Department of Corrections and serve beside the finest and most highly trained corrections officers in the nation.